Hey, Tux Arutere here. Welcome to my journal entry. It's been a minute. I haven't done one of these recordings in a while. And if you have never watched a video like this one, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I take as my private thoughts, write them down, and share them with you. Yes, I know it's strange and it's weird, but I do it because I want to show you how to journal and how to use this very simple tool to navigate ups and downs in life. Of course, I don't read just anything. It has to be one, something I'm comfortable sharing and I'm happy for people to know about. And two, it's got to be useful to you. So I am looking at the 29th of March, 2024. So just a few days ago. Faith is a journey. First you imagine, then you desire, then hope, then get disappointed. This hope to disappointment to hope can happen several times. Then you accept. And acceptance is the valley. It is where many pitch their tents. It is a place of rest, but can also be the final resting place for you. Hope shows up after a season of acceptance, but only those who saw it as a temporal stop in the first place or a rest pit will take the hand of hope. If you do, you'll be pulled out of that valley into the mountaintop or onto the mountaintop. Hope is not action. Hope is action inspired by belief. Okay, that's a lot. So I wrote this because we're all on a journey, and something in particular which I have been hoping for, and it seems like it's about to take off, and then I get disappointed again. Then it seems like it's going to take off and it gets disappointed again. I find that I'm in this place of acceptance, which is a valley, the valley of acceptance. Now, if you have been working on a project or maybe running a business or hoping to do something, it might even be a relationship where it seems like sometimes you start off and everything seems like it's finally going in the right direction. And then you just get dropped into this pit of disappointment. Then you manage to start hoping again. And as you're hoping again and you're going on, you're like, oh, finally, the trial is over. I'm done. Now I can really get what I want. And then boom, you're disappointed again. And it feels like there is a cycle of hope and disappointment and hope and disappointment. There is a scripture in the Bible that says that hope does not end in disappointment. And the way I see that is, and I have to write the scripture down because I don't know it off the top of my head, but the way that I interpret that to mean is, imagine that you're walking on a path and you've got alternating slabs, hope, disappointment, hope, disappointment. And no matter how often you do that, the last slab you put your foot on is not going to be disappointment. That's what the Bible says. It will be hope. And hope is necessary for us to keep going. But this valley of acceptance is also it's a tricky place to be in, because it's the place where you either accept that life is not a perfect straight line and you're going to keep encountering difficulties, and that's okay. Or you may accept that you are never going to get what you really want, and then you just accept and you stay there. And in that valley of acceptance, you find that it is supposed to be a place of rest. It's a place to pause, reflect on what you've been through, pull out the lessons you have been blessed with, and then pick yourself up and start going. But what ends up happening with many of us is we just pitch our tents there. And this place that is supposed to be a temporal stop ends up becoming our home. It reminds me of a little book that you may be familiar with, Who Moved My Cheese? Who Moved My Cheese is a best-selling tiny little book that's packed with power. If you've never read it before, I urge you to read it. And it's the metaphors are used, the lives of these four mice, and two of them get to a place where the cheese runs out. So the whole purpose is where we're after cheese, whatever cheese presents for you in your life. And the cheese runs out, or they run out of cheese. Two of the friends pick up their tools and go looking for new cheese. And the other two friends are like, absolutely not. No, there is more cheese here. We just need to keep digging. We need to keep checking, and then they pitch their tent there, and they refuse to move. And so that's what the valley for me represents. Whatever it is I was going through or I have been going through, I recognize now that where I'm at is not a place, I haven't reached the end, but I'm in a valley, and the choice to rest or build my tent is entirely up to me. And that's the same with you. So if you're going through a rough patch at the moment, or you're going through a season and you feel weary, rest, don't quit. In other news, Living Inside Out is back. Episode 89 was released today. And if you are on Spotify, then you may have missed 88 last week because of a little change that we made to the production of the podcast, where the file came out in a different format that Spotify spat it out basically and didn't accept it. So it's back on now. So if you haven't caught up, 88 was amazing, and it was about self-consciousness, which is a weapon that has worked against many of my goals and plans, and I dare say yours as well. It's a really good one. And episode 89 is about intuition. It's titled The Intuitive Entrepreneur. I encourage you to listen to both of them because they are uplifting and they would cause you to think, which is what I want to do, is inspire you to think differently and to look for clues that your own life is given to you so that you can navigate your path. And finally, I'm going to be running a PR on a shoestring budget workshop. I haven't got the date yet, but if you're interested, if you are building a personal brand or you've got a business or you just want to be in control of your image as you're being presented in the world, then I urge you to sign up for it. Sign up sheet isn't out yet, but you can register your interest by clicking the link in my bio or sending an email to PA, that's Papa Alpha at talksarotray.com, or just sending a DM. Hope you had a wonderful Easter. I will talk to you soon. God bless you.